Did you know that protein is found throughout your body? In muscle, bone, skin, hair, and virtually every other body part or tissue. There are several different proteins that make you what you are. Hi, I'm Arun Singh. A very warm welcome to Protein X Protein Abhiyan, where we talk to nutritionists, doctors, mothers, working people, the public at large to talk about all things protein. Today, we are joined by Munmun Ganeriwal, award-winning nutritionist and lifestyle consultant. A very warm welcome. Now, as a nutritionist, people look up to you for health advice. Can you explain the importance of protein in maintaining a healthy lifestyle?
Okay, so firstly, protein is a macronutrient, right? So we have carbs, carbohydrates, fats, and protein. So these three are called macronutrients. They are called macronutrients because our bodies do require them in large quantities, and rightly so. When we're specifically talking about proteins, then proteins is required for wholesome health, for wellness, and there are various aspects of a wholesome health and wellness for which we require proteins. For example, when we talk about immunity these days, especially after the pandemic, proteins is extremely essential. The antibodies that our immune system produces to, fight back with viruses, they are all proteins. If you're talking about metabolic health, for example, then almost all the hormones are made from proteins. Like most of Indian population do suffer from thyroid issues. So thyroid hormones are made from proteins. Then we have insulin, which we know is required for weight loss, for sugar control, for metabolic health. That is made from proteins. And even melatonin, which is the hormone which we require to, sleep well and to have a good, smooth circadian rhythm. Even melatonin is made from protein. If we talk about anti-aging, for example, then we of course need to talk about muscle mass, because we start losing our muscle mass after the age of 30, and proteins are required for tissue regeneration, for muscle recovery, for growth, and so on and so forth. Likewise, even our hair, like hair follicles, these are predominantly made of protein. The skin, the innermost layer of skin, which is called dermis, 75% of that is made from proteins. So overall, net, if we do want to live a good life, healthy life, and no matter what aspect of health or wellness you would want to focus on, you cannot tend to or afford to ignore proteins in your diet.
So after this detailed answer, I really want to get a t-shirt which says protein is important, because we can't highlight it enough, because this is important and very integral when it comes to leading a healthy lifestyle. Now, also tell us the food items that are good sources of protein, keeping in mind both vegetarians and non-vegetarians.
Both vegetarian and non-vegetarian foods are great sources of protein. It is a myth that vegetarian sources are not great sources of protein. To briefly explain, I just need to tell you the structure of the protein. So proteins are made up of chains of molecules called amino acids. And we have these 20 amino acids in nature. Out of these 20 amino acids, 9 are essential because our body cannot produce them, and you need to take it from the diet, whereas the others are called non-essential. Now, the difference between the plant protein and animal protein is just that the animal protein contains all the 9 essential amino acids, and therefore they are called as complete proteins, whereas the plant proteins do contain these essential amino acids, but they would be lacking in any one of these essential amino acids, making them the incomplete protein. But as vegetarians, you can get a complete protein profile, and I can explain how with an example. So if you're eating dal, your dal has all the essential amino acids, but lacks only methionine. And the moment you eat your dal with, say, a roti, the roti does have that particular amino acid which dal lacks. And therefore, individually, dal cannot provide you a complete protein profile. But the moment you eat it with the roti, it does give you a complete protein profile. So as vegetarians, you do get complete protein profile. And if we talk about sauces, then the vegetarian sauces are lentils, beans, pulses, nuts, seeds, grains, dairy. And the non-vegetarian sources are, eggs and meat.
Now, most Indians have protein deficiency in their diet. How do you think we can bridge that gap?
As Indians, I feel the most common mistake that we do is, follow a monotonous diet. Like I just explained how it is important to, have food combinations so that if there's any deficiency in one particular ingredient, in one particular food, the other can make up for it, right? So if you are having a diverse and a, variety in your food plate, then, we can have, a good protein for ourselves in our diet.
Do you think people are becoming more aware and conscious about what they eat these days? Maybe we have to thank the internet for this.
Yeah, surely. I'm sure people are becoming more aware than what they were a few years back. Like people are asking the right questions. People are moving more. Meditation is becoming more mainstream, and people are going for more screenings and blood work in order to prevent a disease rather than working after the disease sets in. So yeah, these are the positive changes that we see in Indian population these days.
Okay, well, with that, we've come to an end of this segment of Protein X Protein Abhiyan. Thanks a lot for all the insightful answers. Now, you, the viewers, send us your suggestions on what more would you want us to discuss about protein here. Write to us on our social media handles or log on to ndtv.com/Protein Abhiyan and take the pledge by using #ProteinPledge. This is Arun Singh signing off.